And welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in Niagara, Ontario, Canada. If you would like to send me an email, same email address as I've had for the past 30 years. Xzone at xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites, Xzone Radio TV. And we're coming to you tonight around the world on the Xzone Broadcast Network, Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, and on Simul TV. Now, if you'd like to visit the Xzone Broadcast Network to see all the great programming we have available for you, 7/24, 365, totally with our compliments. It doesn't cost you a cent. I know in today's age and all these different prices that are popping up on everything over the internet, you're probably saying, that must be a mistake, Rob. You meant to say you charge us. No, we don't charge you. It's 100% with our compliments. And you can see all the programming at www.xzbn.net. And for all the programming on the Xzone TV channel on Simul TV, visit www.simultv.com. And in the search engine on their main webpage, just type in Xzone, and our programming is all there. Now, Xzone Nation, my guest this hour is Chidi Asika-Enahoro. I hope I said that right. And we're going to be talking about many things tonight, but we're going to mostly about, let me see, how can I best describe what we're going to be talking about? Well, we're just going to take one step at a time. And I guess the best way to do that is by bringing our guest on at this time. Miss Chidi, welcome back to the Xzone.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great talking to you. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what it is exactly that you do?
Okay. I'm a mother of two young adults, a boy and a girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an author, a writer. I'm a mental health therapist. I do so many things. I am a Reiki healer, yoga teacher, life coach, and empowerment trainer. Okay.
Okay, so that tells us a little bit about what you do. How did you start on this mission that you're on? You've done so much. You know, I was looking at your bio that you were kind enough to send us. The University of New Haven, West Haven, Connecticut, Master of Arts in Clinical and Community Psychology. Quantipac University, Hampton, Connecticut, Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology and Human Services.
Yeah.
And then your career as President and CEO, Love and Balance Incorporated, Executive Director, Tarich International. Mm-hmm. And the list goes on and on and on. You're a published author of A Slice of Africa, an exotic West African cookbook, Innocence Interrupted, a sexual molestation survival and prevention guide, Till Cheating Do Us Part, Hear Me Out, Lifeline, The Cancer Games. Where do you find all the time to do what you do?
In between all I'm doing, I'm always writing, jotting down notes and stuff like that, you know. Mm-hmm. I started all this when I was after graduation from University of New Haven.
Right.
We moved, my husband and I have been married 35 years.
God bless you.
Thank you. My husband and I moved to Florida, where we had the kids. And in Florida, I worked for the state of Florida, Division of Vocational Rehabilitation for 12 years, mental health unit. So while I was working there, I started as a therapist, and then I got promoted to be the district trainer. Being the district trainer meant that I had to go to a lot of training around the country, you know, to get trained and come back and train the staff. So while I was getting trained and traveling around, I was exposed to a lot of trainers and subjects and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that's how I became involved by talking to people and by getting trained and getting ideas.
I was wondering if you could tell us about your newest book and what compelled you to write it.
My newest book is The Cancer Game. I have multiple myeloma, blood cancer.
Oh, gosh.
I've had it since 2010. It's not, well, I wouldn't say it doesn't kill you, but it's incurable, but it's manageable.
Yes.
Yeah, so it gets to the point where you're in remission, and we can't really tell what triggers it to come back, but it always comes back. So I've come out of remission at least 3 occasions. So I wrote The Cancer Game because in going through the treatment, and meeting different people, changing doctors, and doing all kinds of chemo, bone marrow transplants, the whole works. I have a lot of stories to tell that I have seen, that I think might help some other people that get diagnosed to know what's going on.
My goodness, you certainly have your hands full, and my prayers are with you.
Thank you.
Was the process of writing your book kind of a healing in any way?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It was very healing. And, while writing, I'll remember things because I jot things down and I'll remember, oh, yeah, this happened. I forgot all about it, So it's very, very healing. And looking at the doctors and looking at the treatment team, I was able to notice who is really in it for the heart. And a lot of them are, but some of them are just there doing a job. And it's hard because there's so many people that are sick that it's hard for them to keep up, with the number of people that are coming in. Also, the insurance companies limit how long they can stay with the patient, what they can do with the patient. They don't have the time to keep up with technology, with research, so they don't read a lot. And a lot of research is coming out every day on these different diseases, especially with my disease. I shouldn't call it my disease, with my diagnosis, multiple myeloma. A lot of research is coming out every day, and the doctors sometimes don't keep up. The facilities they work with just want them to do what they're told to do, and that's it. And I would ask, oh, I read about this, and this is out. They don't know. So not because they don't want to know, just because they don't have the time to be reading research and following things.
Well, the entire medical system is under such a heavy strain these days. It's a wonder that they're doing what they're able to do under the current conditions. Exactly.
Yeah. So you have to advocate for yourself, So I research a lot. A lot of people already wrote me out that I was going to be passed over 5 years ago. And I'm still here, strong and going. Because I believe that I'm here for a reason, and I try whatever, even alternative measures. There's a lot of alternative measures that actually work, so I addressed all that in the book.
You and I have to take our first commercial break in about 30 seconds, Miss Chidi.
Okay.
When I come back, I was wondering if you could explain to us what multiple myeloma cancer is and what some of the causes are. So please stand by, and like I said, God bless you, and you're in my prayers. Exo Nation, what you're hearing is a lady's fight, a desire to fight to get better, and I believe that the power of positive thinking and the will to survive, I know it's a cliche, the will to survive, is real. And we'll talk more to Miss Chidi as we continue on the other side of this break. Now, if you'd like to find more information about our guest this hour, visit her website, www.loveandbalance.com. That's www.loveandbalance.com. And we'll be back on the other side of this.
If I had to live without you, what kind of life would that be? Oh, now I need you in my arms, need you to hold. You're my world, my heart, my soul. If you ever leave, baby, you would take away everything good in my life. Without you, there'd be no sun in my sky. There would be no love in my life. There'd be no world left for me and I.
And welcome back, everyone. We're talking to Chidi Asika-Enahoro. And her website is www.loveandbalance.com. Before we went to the break, I was asking you if you'd be able to tell us more about, multiple myeloma cancer.
Yeah, multiple myeloma cancer is a blood cancer. There are different types of blood cancer, leukemia, and some other stuff. But multiple myeloma is different in that, it's not curable, but it's treatable. And rarely do people die. People die from different things. But multiple myeloma is a type of cancer that starts in the blood cells. So there's no, like a tumor. Most cancers, there's a tumor that can be taken out.
Right.
Like breast cancer and all that. But there's no tumor. It's like in your blood system. So it's all over you.
My God.
Yeah, there's nothing to take out. They just have to treat it with different things. One of the treatments, chemo, of course,
Yes.
chemo and radiation, but one of the treatments that's effective is also bone marrow transplant, which they can use your bone marrow if you get well to the point where they can take out your bone marrow, or they can use a donor, somebody else that matches your blood type and stuff like that. I had a bone marrow transplant in 2014 with my own bone marrow, so I was well enough to take out platelets that was used for the bone marrow. And it went well because there's no issue of rejection and stuff like that because it's yours.
Right.
But when you use a donor, you can have all kinds of problems. So I didn't have any problem. And I was in remission for almost 2 years after that. Then I went to Africa, and it came back. Okay, I'm not sure if it has anything to do with my going to Africa, because I've been here, and it came back as well. But when it comes back, or when you have multiple myeloma, you lose a lot of weight, you're weak and dizzy, and I didn't think it was, because I thought, I was cured, it's not going to come back. So I didn't actually associate my situation with coming out of remission. You're nauseous, I will throw up, I was drinking alcohol, thinking I'm fine, and I will throw up and stuff like that. So finally, I was losing weight drastically. I couldn't keep anything down. And I had all kinds of crazy experience in Africa while I was in Africa. So I put that in the book because in Africa, everything is either witchcraft or, I don't know, voodoo. So people will come and pray for me. They, oh, that somebody sent it, return to sender kind of crazy thinking, and pray it away. Of course, I was wasting time going through all that. Then they sent me to a herbalist who I went to see, and he gave me all kinds of yucky tasting concoctions, which I took because I really didn't want to come back and do chemo.
Yeah.
And my husband was fighting me. He's like, you need to go back and do chemo. And I said, no, I don't want to do chemo. I'm going to try these methods and see. Meanwhile, I was wasting away. When I got to the point where I couldn't even stand up, I couldn't keep water down. Anything I put in my mouth comes back up. So I said, okay, let's go. And I came back. I was lucky because my kidney, everything was almost going to get shut down. So I started treatment again. I've tried all kinds of chemo, like almost a guinea pig. This one is here. Let's try this. Let's try that. And I keep trying them, but I am positive that it's not my time yet to go, so I'll be here for a while trying different things.
In your opinion, what are some of the steps that people can take to safeguard their health?
Rest,
and more rest.
Yes, because you see all the things I was doing, so I'm doing all these things here, and I'm starting projects in Africa, so I'm going back and forth, driving myself crazy. So I was highly strung and stressed out. That's part of probably what created mine. After the rest part, sleep. I didn't sleep more than 3-4 hours a night. That's not good enough. You need to have good, deep slumber for at least 6 to 10 hours a night. Eat properly. Eat vegetables, fruits. I ate fruits and I ate some vegetables, and I was trying to eat properly and cut out most of the dairy products. But basically that's what people need to do to organize themselves. Now I do meditation and yoga, which is very good because you need to quiet your mind so that, we pray to God.
Yes.
But when you do meditation, you can hear God talking to you. You can hear the still voice inside you talking to you. Relax, and you control your thinking and all the chatters that go on in your head. Well, in my head,
How do you meditate?
You can sit or lie down and take deep breaths. You take, let's say, you take a really long, deep breath, hold it for a few seconds. You can count if you want. You hold it for like 5 to 10 seconds and release it from your mouth in one whoosh. And you could do that for about 10, 15 times. And you relax. You start relaxing from your toes, your foot, your calves, your knees, all the way, different parts of your body, all the way to the top of your crown, your hands and your fingers. And you lay still, or you sit still for a second, for more than a second. And you can meditate for 20 minutes to an hour, depending on how much time you have, and you just stay there, relax, without thinking of anything, just breathing. You focus on your breathing, and you can do that maybe at least once a day, but you could do that 2-3 times a day as well. And you try and do it every day to calm your nerves. When you finish, you feel really good, and you can think more clearly.
All right. And you can meditate anywhere, can't you?
Anywhere. I mean, even in Grand Central Station, if you have mastered the art of meditation, you can actually do it while there's chaos and craziness all around you, and you just focus on yourself. Yeah.
All right. You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour, but let our listeners know how they can find out more about you and where they can get your books.
Okay. From my website, loveandbalance.com. I have lifeline.miracle.com. My books are all on Amazon. All my books are on Amazon. Chidi Asika-Enahoro. And all the books will come out. I have 6 books.
All right. Stand by, my friend. You and I must take our break at the bottom of the hour with the news. And once again, Exonation, if you'd like to get more information about our guest this hour, her website is www.loveandbalance.com. And we'll both be back on the other side of this news break as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Niagara, Ontario, Canada. Now, for all of you who are interested, and I know each and every one of you are listening to me around the world, the X Chronicles newspaper for February and March 2020 has been released, and all you need to do is go to www.xchroniclesnewspaper.com. And it is there, 92 full pages in color, totally with our compliments, and of course the compliments of our advertisers. The X Zone is a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. And I'll be back on the other side of the short break with the news. Don't go away.
My world, my heart, my soul. If you ever leave, baby, you would take away everything good.
And welcome back, everyone. I hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. You know what? Summer is just around the corner. I can feel the spring in the air. And even though we had a blizzard yesterday, I don't know, something about getting into the month of March, it just kind of makes you feel happy because you've gone through the winter doldrums. And pretty soon all those beautiful plants are going to start blooming. The trees are going to be filled with leaves, and we're going to have a wonderful summer, and I hope that each and every one of you do as well. Miss Chidi is our special guest, Chidi Asika-Enahoro. What nationality is your name, Miss Chidi?
Nigeria.
Ah. Please pronounce your name the right way for us.
Chidi, meaning God exists.
Right.
Asika is a short form of a long stuff. But it means if you want us, whatever you want us to be. You want us to be friends, we'll be friends. You want us to be enemies? Yeah. Enahoro. Okay, I don't know the meaning of that. That's my husband's name.
That's up to him to figure out, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it has a meaning or not. But most Nigerian names have meanings.
Well, we're happy you're with us tonight, and you are one brave lady. I admire you.
Thank you so much.
Um, you also deal with victims of molestation and abuse. Now, recently, more and more in the news, we hear about the sex slavery and the sex trafficking that has been going on. How do
Yeah.
you, I would imagine that you do counseling and when it comes to sex abuse as well as molestation. How do you cope with that? You're a mom.
Yeah.
And yet you face this in your daily job. How do you separate it? Like what do you do in order to put your own house in order? And I'm talking about your own mental state when dealing with such horrific crimes and so many stories that just rip your heart apart.
Well, I lived it,
Oh gosh.
So I was molested
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing the stories, I talk to my children. That's the thing. The key is you have to talk to your children. I talk to them like they are adults. I know they're not adults, but in the language they can understand. But I always talk to them. I explain things to them so they understand. I wrote the book Innocence Interrupted on sexual molestation issues, and I discussed it with them. And my daughter, kids, they want to go for sleepovers and stuff like that. I said, absolutely not, because these things can happen at sleepovers.
Mm-hmm.
They have happened at sleepovers that I'm aware of. So I said, if you want to have a sleepover, your friends can come here and I'll watch you guys. And she's like, everybody's mom. I said, well, I'm not everybody's mom. I'm your mom, and you're not going.
Good for you.
So I was kind of like a mean mom, but, you do what you got to do. So when my book came out and she saw it, she's like, oh, Mommy, so that's why you didn't want me to go to sleepover. I say, exactly, that's why. So they understand. I talk about it. I did a lot of training sessions on the subject, to people. And I counsel the victims because it follows